Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. This series is running from last 5 years. Speakers are invited from India and abroad. The series accepts every topic related to law, education, health, technology, mindfulness. All topics are accepted here. In today's session, we have invited Manpreet Kaur ma'am, Assistant Professor, Apex Group of Institutions, Bilaspur, Uttarpradesh. The topic is the future of communication in the age of AI, artificial intelligence. I welcome you, ma'am, from my organization and from all the participants, those who are joined here. Our today's speaker is Assistant Professor with expertise in corporate accounting, financial accounting, and financial management. She also have over 3 years of expertise as an IELTS trainer. She is helping students to develop communication and language skills. She is passionate about teaching, research, and student development. She is a strong interest in accounting, finance, communication, and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence in education. I welcome you, ma'am, and welcome all the participants, those who are joined here. And I request you, you can start your speech on the topic, the future of communication in the age of artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. I just want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for hosting this international webinar, and in particular to Dr. Betkar, sir, for organizing this event and inviting me for this and providing me an opportunity. So I just want to thank everyone who joined this session. So my name is Manpreet Kaur. I'm an assistant professor at Apex Group of Institution, Bilaspur, Uttar Pradesh, and I am also preparing students for IELTS as I mentioned about this. So my today's topic is the future of communication in the age of artificial intelligence. I just want to start this with a quote that says, every major leap in communication technology has changed not just how fast we speak, but who gets to speak, what counts as truth, and how relationships are built. This quote simply means that every time humans found a new way to communicate, it did not just make things faster, but it changed things deeper in three different ways. The first change is that who gets to speak. If we talk about the earliest days, only someone who is standing in front of someone like the elder or the village head could be heard. Chike, when writing comes, only few people who could write and read, like the scholars and priests, they had a voice. But today, with the internet, almost everyone with a phone can speak to the whole world. So over time, the circle of people who get to speak has kept getting bigger. The second is what counts as truth. If we talk about earlier, truth was just whatever the trusted elder said. Like there was no way to check it. Later, it was logged inside the written test that only few people who know how to read and who know how to interpret, they can only interpret it for everyone. But after some time, and if we talk about today, so these days we have many voices online. So compared to earlier, these days truth is no longer decided by one source. It is debated and contested by thousands of voices at once. So, which is also why fake news spreads so easily. The third change is how relationships are built. In the beginning, the circle or the people to whom we know are very less, and we only trust or know the people who are just around the people, like the people in the village or in the community. But as the technology, especially in the communication, it get advanced, so we could stay connected across distances. Like first letters come, after that we shifted to phone calls, and today we are connected to people across entire globe that were never even that we ever never met in person. So relationships have become much wider in reach, but also often shallower in depth. So this part is really saying that communication technology was never just about speed. Every leap has reshaped the people who has the power to hurt, to trust, and how deeply or widely we are connected with one another. So the question before us is that AI simply the next leap or something categorically different. So we'll discuss about this in the remaining part. So first, before starting, I just want to give a brief or short history of human communication. The communication human it started with paintings, and now we have it comes to Wi-Fi. So there is five big revolutions in the 5,000 years. It sounds like a long time, but the interesting part is things have been speeding up. Like it took thousands of years to go from painting to writing, but it took only few decades to go from telephones to internet. And today, uh, we will just go through these five revolutions. So, if we talk about the first and second, so first in 3200 BC, you have writing systems, and then it comes printing press. So, writing system it was born at 3200 BC. Before writing, everything that people knew, it was just laws, stories, history, live only inside the memory of people. Like if any people remember something and the people died, the knowledge could disappear with them. But when writing came, this has changed. For the first time after writing, knowledge it did not need a living person to survive. It could be written down, it could be stored, it could be even passed on to next generation even after that particular person was gone. So after writing, let's just jump to next. Then we have the printing press in 1440. Uh, the first it was by Johannes Gutenberg and the printing press. Before books were copied by hand, before Gutenberg, the books were copied by hand, usually by monks, and it could take months to months to just make one copy. But when pressing come, the things have changed completely. It was a significant change. It made books over 300 times cheaper to produce. And that's not only a small improvement, that is a whole new economy of the knowledge. So it has changed everything. And after that, when people started to know how to read, so the reformation happens. People started, they are becoming more aware regarding writing, reading, and all this. Next, if we talk about the next revolution in the communication, that is called the electronic leap. First, we had the writing part, then printing press, and then its electronic leap when the telephone entered. It was around 400 years ago. Like it takes around 400 years in 1876. The invention of telephone happens, and for the first time ever, two people could talk to each other in real time without being in the same room. And today it feels like normal because we usually do this on daily basis without even thinking much. But if we talk about the earlier time, The individuals, they have not even imagined that. So when telephone has come, it brought a substantial change. With the invention of telephone, the distance, it almost stopped mapping. People do not even think about distance. They can talk about everyone sitting or living anywhere in the world. They can talk about business. They can even share their family news or everything they want. Then in 1990s, the internet and email came. Before email, the sending a letter meant writing it, then posting it, and then waiting days for a reply. But email has changed all of these. We can just write and send email in just seconds. It does not involve a lot of things. It can be done in just few seconds. And something even bigger happened. Ordinary people, they could now publish their own words for others to read. So everything has changed with that. Anyone who has the access to internet, he or she could share their voice with the world. So this is where our modern world comes, and this the artificial intelligence is tapping into. Next revolution, that is communication revolution fifth, is the mobile and social era, and it started after 2007, 2000 onwards. Smartphones and social platforms have arrived, such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and the smartphone. It put printing press and telephone and broadcast studio into every pocket. With the smartphone, the and these apps, they have changed everything. Like if we talk about the what smartphone and actually did, it combined printing press, telephone, and studio. All of these are combined into one small device that can be put in our pockets. So by 2024, over 5 billion people, about 60%, if we talk about world's population, they were using social media. Like a huge number of people, for the very first time in the human history, they have the main way they can talk to others, and it isn't to face anymore. They can even talk to others using a screen. So these are the five major revolutions, uh, that is writing, printing, telephone, internet, and the mobile. And all these, the pattern across, if we talk about the all five revolutions, each new tool, it has lowered the cost of reaching others. As when new invention comes, it becomes more cheaper to reach people. People can easily access it, and it has even become more affordable for each and everyone. The second is redistributed who could speak. This means more people in the world, they get a voice. Now more people with every revolution, they get a chance to speak. At the same time, they get a chance to be heard. The third is it triggered fears about authenticity and attention, with fears that were partially justified and partly overborne. So every new tools, when it arrives, it somehow brings fear. The fear is about what is real, what is authentic. It's about where our attention is going. And historically, some of that fears was fair and some of it was overblown. So these three part pattern is exactly what we are going to measure artificial intelligence against. Then why like we are witnessing the revolution in communication from a long time, but still we feel like AI is so different. It has brought something very different. It has changed the things a lot. So why that? So the here is the turning point of the entire talk. If AI simply follow the same pattern we just talked about, this would be a short and something which is very easy to learn. But another tool, it makes things more faster. But we have not seen it before. The evolution that has been brought with AI is so fast as compared to earlier. Like every technology I have talked till now, like writing, the printing, telephone, internet, mobile phone, it just takes a lot of time. of time. It carried a human's message faster, further, and cheaper. But in all these, humans still had to create that particular message that they are writing. Like they need to write a letter by their own. A phone call still had to be spoken by a person. And everything that we are typing and everything that we are posting on social media is done by a particular human person. Like humans have to do all of this by their own. But if we talk about the AI, what AI has done, artificial intelligence has changed this. It is something which is very different. It's the first communication technology in the entire human history that can even create the message itself. Like it does not just carry our words faster, but it even helps us to produce words that were never even our mind to begin with. So previous the tools that we are using that on we are humans are the one who are typing that humans are the one who are passing the message. But with the AI, the thing has happened that AI itself creates that particular message. If you even notice these days, if we are even messaging someone on WhatsApp, on email, so when we are typing, the we get suggestions regarding what to give as a reply. So this means that AI is just creating the message for the humans. It is not just carrying our words faster, but it is helping us to produce words that were somehow not even our minds, that humans have not even thought of. So it has not just connected to humans anymore. It can actually take the place of one side of communication. Previous tools, what they have done, they have connected the humans. When we talked about writing, when we talked about telephone, so what happened? The people can talk with each other. But what has changed with the AI? AI can now stand in as one side of conversation. Like the common examples are chat GPT. It is very common example. So what is happening? The people they are talking with chat GPT. So they are talking with an AI. So the conversation is not happening with two human beings. It is happening with a person and an AI too. So, like if we talk about even the customer service chatbot, that is very common these days. So there is no human involved in that. Everything that is happening, every reply that we are getting through it is through the AI. And humans have adopted it very fast. That speed tells something important too. Like every earlier shift that has happened that we talked about, it took decades. It took years that humans have adopted that. Telephone took about 75 years to reach 100 million users. But the AI, if we talk about ChatGPT, it reached 100 million users in just about 2 months. So the speed at which these AIs have reached to people is comparatively fast to the earlier revolutions or inventions that have happened. Previous, like it took decades to reach people, but these days it is very fast. So here's the main idea: like the AI, it does follow the old pattern in some way. It lowers cost, it widens the access, and yes, it makes those in power nervous. But it has also certainly breaks that pattern in one which is very important. It is the first technology that can create the message and not just carry that particular message, and that changed everything. It has changed the ethics of it and how we know what's true. Now, second thing is we have talked about the AI. The what AI is changing right now. So, 6 year shifts that AI has made and it is reshaping is how we speak, write, and listen. So, the first shift out of six is real time translation. Language stops being a barrier. So what happened in the past? A human interpreter was required for cross language business, for diplomacy, medical care, costly and often unavailable. But now with the AI, system translate speech live, in year across 100 plus language during a live conversation. In the past, in order to speak even in different language, so if we talk about anywhere, so person need a trained human interpreter who can interpret that particular language, and that is something which is very expensive because we need a person who has knowledge of different language and who can translate it. But with the AI, the things has changed. AI can translate speech live, like it, if you talk and AI will tell you in your right in your ear in over 100 languages during even an actual real conversation. Like for example, if you are having conversation with someone and you can use AI translate. What AI translate speech live would do, it will translate that speech in your ear during an actual conversation, and it can be done over 100 languages. There are many devices that are there, uh, like in Google Translate app, or there are many other devices in which like it let two people speaking completely different language, and it allows them to talk to each other with AI translating each side in about 1 second. So what it has done, like the cross-border business talks and the healthcare access for the especially if we talk about non-native speakers have genuinely improved because of AI. Especially if we talk about the academic audience, the professional enterprise, so something important is still being lost. Things like idioms, tone, and legal precision, the small details that give language its real meaning, machines still handle it poorly. It's not that efficient. So that's exactly why courts and formal diplomacy still require certified human interpreters. So this technology has massively expanded access at everyday low stakes level. And if we talk about the second shift that it has brought is the first draft is no longer only human. Many of you have like probably already experienced also the first draft of a document is no longer only written by humans. What happens in the past? In the past, if you have to write any report, if you have to write any email or any research proposal, we start from a blank page. We will it takes like hours. We work on that, like sometimes even days of starting the screener for start. But in the today, what happens? The professionals can draft, they can shape and polish text with an AI assistant in just minutes. And they can not only do this, but they can even simply edit it. There are numerous tools like the ChatGPT, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, and there are many others that are used regularly to draft emails, structure research papers, even summarize literature and polish the applications. So it has like the real concern is that the authorship, if we talk about the originality, if we talk about the authenticity that I mentioned earlier, is what the concern is. Like whether a writer's own critical thinking is quietly being handed over to the AI along with typing itself. So the second shift is like humans are no longer writing the first draft. The AI is one who is writing it and even editing and polishing it. The third shift is the first line of contact is often a machine. We all know this experience. Like in the past, calling a bank, calling an airline or a university help desk, and waiting in a line for a human agent. Sometimes it takes a lot of time and often more than 15 minutes, an hour, more than that. However, nowadays, with the help of AI, the AI chatbots, they can easily resolve the routine queries that we have instantly. Like they are even available 24/7, so we don't need to wait for the replies. We don't need to wait to get a solution. And route only complex cases to human. The cases that are complicated, they are being passed to human. Like there are many assistants even in the banking these days. If we talk about the HDFC Bank, it has Assistant Eva, the most major airline booking boards and the university admission chat assistants, including systems that are Similar to what many institutions had that they used for enrollment questions to handle thousands of routine queries at the same time. So this is a third shift that is one of the most common that has changed everything. The fourth shift with AI is that now it's now decides what hers whom. So, in the past, a newspaper editor or TV programmer choose what a mass audience would see using human editorial judgment. Like judgment was done by human, which could be imperfect, it could be biased in its own way, but it was made by a real and an accountable person. But if we talk about the present time, like with the AI, what happens? The recommendations are not decided by humans. It is decided by the AI individually and personally. What each of the billion different users see next, if we talk about Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, what we scroll, so it is decided by what we are seeing. Next shift in this is hearing and seeing are no longer believing. In the past, a recorded voice or a video was treated as a strong evidence that a real event occurred as shown. But if we talk about like this assumption has now broken down with the AI. If we talk about the AI, these days artificial intelligence can generate a convincing synthetic voice or even a synthetic face from just seconds of sample data. So, if we talk about a real case in February 2024, a finance employee at a firm in Hong Kong authorized a transfer of 25 million US dollar after participating in a video call with people who appeared to be the company's chief financial officer and several colleagues. Like every single person on that call, other than the victim, was an AI agent deepfake. This was reported by Hong Kong police and covered widely. So this has changed. Like you have even heard about the scams that are happening using the face, using the voice. Like it is not only happening on the voice, but also on the video calls with the like what AI is doing. It is with the data. It just generates the image of the person, and it seems like we are talking with a real human being. So, hearing and seeing, they are not longer believing. We cannot believe what we are hearing. We cannot believe what we are seeing. It can be a real human being or it can even be an AI. So, this is the fifth shift that has happened. And the sixth shift in this is that, which is related to emotional and social communication. Some people now talk to AI, not just through it. In the past, if we talk about the emotional support and companionship, these two things, these come from the families, these come from our friends, therapists, community, or the people with whom we have close knit relationship, people with whom we are close to. And this is still overwhelmingly true for most people, but a new category has opened up alongside it. Now, with the AI, we have AI companion platforms such as Replica and Character AI. They are the best known examples. What they're doing, they offer an ongoing and always available conversational relationship. Character AI reported more than 20 million monthly active users by 2024 as per our company and third party users data, with average session times exceeding those of the most mainstream social media apps. So many users, they describe the AI as a friend. So many people, they are just making them as they are making AI as their companion, instead of talking to the real human being, instead of talking to their friends, their family and the humans, they are just talking with the AI in the same way that we used to talk with humans. So this is the sixth change that we have. So till now, the shifts that have been made that we have discussed of is in the translation, the writing, the voice and video, content curation, customer service, and the companionships. So these are changes, the shifts that AI have brought. And if we talk about the evidence, the results that we have so far as per the data collected, control studies, and what they actually show. So the first is that AI reached users faster than any prior medium. The mediums that we have till now, that we have discussed as well, the telephone. The telephone took more than 75 years to reach 100 million users. The radio, it took around 38 years to reach people. Television, it took 13 years in order to reach everyone. Internet, internet has it took around 7 years, and the Facebook about 4.5 years. But if we look at the data, the ChatGPT, it reached 100 million users in approximately 2 months. So, like this is drawn from a varied cited UBS analysis. As per this, the ChatGPT it shows like the AI tools, it shows a rapid growth, the speed of adoption, the speed by which the people have adopted this change is very fast as compared to other changes that have taken place in the communication. The second result that we have is in terms of productivity effects. Control studies on AI assisted communication. So let's 14% plus people, the average output has increased with the help of customer support agent, like that are using the generative AI assistants. And if we look at the example, like at in 2023, as per a working paper, studied customer support agent at a real Fortune 500 software companies that are using generative AI assistant. They found around 14% average productivity increase uh, in all this. The second study that we have is as per Nuancing that published in Journal Science in 2023 that has collected college educated professionals complete real business writing tasks and with and without ChatGPT assistant. They found roughly 40% reduction in time to complete that task alongside actual quality improvement in the writing. And again, the gains were largest for professionals who started out as a weaker writers. So they are able to complete their task more faster. Uh, and I just want to highlight the pattern that both of these studies they I think is it is the most important and most underappreciated finding in the entire field as AI assistant communication appear to complex skill gaps rather than simply giving an additional advantage to people who were already skilled. Like they're not giving advantage to people who are skilling, but it is who are already skilled, but it is just fulfilling the gap between that, and that has significant implications for equity in education and in workplace, and it deserves far more attention than it currently gets in popular conversations. Next, if we talk about trust and mistrust, first is speed cuts both ways. Now, honestly, if we talk about the positive side, the Reuters Institute for Study of Journalism has tracked how AI powered translation of news coverage has increased cross border relationships of local journalism, making the regional reporting, which is used to be trapped behind a language barrier, accessible to the international audience for the first time. Uh, and measurable expansion of flow of real information across world has been found with that. But on the concerning side, if we talk about the MIT study by Vygotsky, Roy, and Adel found false news spread roughly 6 times faster than true news online. This study predicts generative AI, but generative AI has lowered the cost of producing convincing false content towards essentially zero since then. So, if we talk about today, we now have cheap, fast content generation flowing through our distribution system that was already documented to reward falsehood speed advantage. And if we're talking about AI, so there are also some tensions and risks that the AI is bringing in the communication. So I just want to turn to that section now. Uh, it just we will talk about what we stand to lose and who bears the cost. Who are the actually one who have to bear the consequences, the repercussions of AI. So the first risk that we have is the authenticity problem. What happened in the past? In the past, like a handwritten letter or even a personal email was assumed to reflect the sender's own thought and efforts. That assumption is now unreliable. A message today, it may be entirely or maybe partially AI generated, and there is often no reliable way to tell. We cannot tell whether that particular message is generated by human or partially by AI or completely by AI. And I just want to mention an example. Our 2023 analysis by Clinton about the plagiarism detection company, widely used across higher education of more than 200 million student submissions. And it flagged roughly 1 in 10 as containing significant AI generated content. Universities worldwide have had to substantially rewrite academic integrity policy in direct response. So the open tension in this risk is that detection tools they remain genuinely unreliable, and this is important. They have documented false positive rates that disproportionately flag the authentic writing of uh, non-native English speakers as AI generated. A 2023 Stanford analysis by Lang and colleagues found this pattern very clearly because AI detector it often key on lower lexical diversity with a signal, and lower lexical diversity is also completely normal and well documented feature of second language English writing. So these tools they can unfairly penalize exactly the students who are working hardest to write in language that is not their fault. Like as a someone who teaches IELTS, I find this especially troubling, and I think it is genuine equity issue that deserves careful institutional attention. So it is even affecting the students who are working really hard and who are putting efforts in order to write. So the second risk with AI that we have is that you all have also heard that whose job communicate for a living. That is risk of job displacement. So, if we talk about the past, the translators, the customer service agent, and copywriters, they built stable career on communication, meditation work. Work whose entire values proposition was being the human bridge between two parties. But But with like if we talk about the AI now perform the first draft or the first contact version of many of these same tasks. And a 2023 report from the Goldman Sachs Global Investment Research Team, it estimated that generated AI could affect roughly 300 million full-time job globally with customer service and translation adjacent roles among the most exposed to task automation. The third risk that we have, and the open tension of this is the same reports even projected new roles emerging, the AI trainers, the prompt specialists, the human AI workflow designers. But the transmission in this is uneven, and the workers in lower income countries, especially, performing outsourced communication work, the call centers, translations, they face the most immediate exposures, like their work is especially affected by the AI. The third risk of this is the digital divide. Like not everyone gets the upgrade. In the past, prior communication shifts that we discussed, the radio, the mobile, the phones, they have eventually reached low income and especially to the population living in rural areas within a generation. But the AI, the advanced AI tools, it requires reliable internet devices, and for that we have often paid subscriptions. I will mention about the chat GPT that we're talking about. So although it is available for free, but in order to access the best of that, we need to pay money. We need to take a subscription. So that has affected somehow. And in order to use this, we definitely need good, reliable internet connection, a capable device, and pay some money for that. And the open tension that it has is that as AI mediated communication becomes the professional and educational default. The expected way to write a report or to prepare a job interview or even to complete coursework, those without reliable access risk a new and compounding form of exclusion layered on the top of, not instead of the, if we talk about the digital divide we already knew about. So this has affected especially of the people who are working in Indian higher education, where the gap between the well-connected urban institutions and rural ones is already significant. The last risk of this is the human connections. Now, what is happening to the human connections? In the past, the difficult conversations regarding grief, the conflicts, the negotiations, these all required a human emotional presence and a real time improvisation. But today, the AI can easily draft apologies, stimulate the comforting words, or even help mediate a conflict. And I think you have even, all of us have even experienced this. When we have to write something, even when we have to wish something to someone, we need to write an apology or anything that we want to send a message to someone. Instead of thinking or instead of writing us by our own, what we used to do, we just give command, we just give prompt to the AI, and whatever the draft, whatever the message that give, we just see and send it. So these days, all these conversations, they are not happening between humans. Like AI is drafting all of this. So this is what is affecting the human connections. So human connections are not same as before. This is somehow affected by the AI. The next or last topic point that I want to discuss in this is what comes next. Like we have the great changes with the AI. The significant changes have been brought. Everything is changed. So what's next? The hybrid communication verification systems or the new literacy. So the first trend that is hybrid communication. The AI replaces human communication that we have just discussed. So it is the hybrid communication becomes the standard default workflow. The pattern looks like AI. It not only draft what is happening. AI is drafting the message, and humans, they are editing it for the judgment. They are editing it for the nuisance and accountability. Uh, so if we talk about the other sectors like the in healthcare, AI increasingly draft patient summaries. It write clinical ad judgment before any sensitive conversation with a patient or family. So you have even heard about a device that even tells regarding the diseases that we're going to have. The AI even predict that. So AI is doing everything in this. The next is HR and counseling. In this, the AI can suggest structure for a genuinely difficult message, while for which even a trained human decides the tone and the timing, because timing is especially something only human present in the moment can judge. And third, in the higher education, what is happening, the AI assists with literature summaries. It even provides early drafts while scholars retain the argument, the original contribution, and intellectual ownership. So what is happening? So these days the AI, it is drafting and the humans, they are editing it. So I think this is the most useful lens for how we should be teaching and training people right now. Instead of avoiding AI, what we should do is we should not let AI to do everything, but know precisely which part of this workflow is ours and what refers to the AI. The second trend is the infrastructure or verification infrastructure. So, proving you are human becomes its own industry. The content proven standard, the C2PA constellation that stands for Constellation for Content Provenance and Authenticity, and its founding members include Adobe, the Microsoft, and the BBC, is building a technical standard to cryptically label how an image, a video, or even an audio file was actually created or edited. It is a temper evidence seal attached to digital content at the moment of its creation. Next in the same that we have is verified human identity layers. So proving the platforms and the regulators are actively exploring identity verification and watermarking requirement, especially for AI generated content. The European Union AI Act, which entered into force in 2024, it already mandates AI content labeling in certain contexts. So, in the single and the most concrete, the most easily verifiable prediction in this entire talk is precisely because it is not speculative. It is standard setting work that is already underway right now by named organization that we all can look after. And the third trend that we have is what education must add about the literacies. So I think it is the most directly and the useful one for all of us who are designing the curriculum because it names three literacies that I believe belong alongside the media and the information literacy framework that many of people already teach, like UNESCO's work in this space is reasonable starting reference point. The first is the prompt literacy. So, knowing how to direct an AI system to get useful, accurate output. So, this is the fast becoming a genuine, the hireable professional skill. The second is take the prompt literacy by selling simple words. Is we need to learn how to give prompt to an AI that is becoming like some that not everyone knows. Second, we have is verification literacy. So the simple and the disciplined habit of whether uh, checking whether a voice, an image, or even a claim is real before acting on it. Like when you get some information online, instead of just believing on it, instead of just thinking that it has human voice, it has human image, it the person in the video sounds like a human. So before acting on that particular information, we should verify it. We should verify. We should cross check with the reliable sources before taking any action on that, like about deep fakes that we have discussed, the voice cloning that we have discussed. So it has now become a fundamental life skill as a basic numeracy. Everyone should know how to verify, how to identify, and how to know whether the information that they're getting is actually correct or is actually provided by a real human being or some AI is doing this. It is something we call deep fakes or voice cloning. The third that we have is editorial literacy. This somehow links to knowing about how to take AI generated text and shape it into something with a genuine argument and a genuine voice. This is not a new skill and abstract, like good editors have always needed this, but it needs to be taught far more. It needs to be taught far more explicitly and far earlier than it currently is. Like especially for those who teach academic writing or English language skills specifically. I think these C literacies deserves a place in our curriculum. So, person should know how to verify, how to write a prompt, and also the editorial literacy. So I just want to thank everyone who have spent their 50 minutes to listen my talk. So I just want to thank everyone for their attention, and now I would really be grateful and open for questions if you have any.
Thank you, Manpreet ma'am, for your study speech. You have compared the as an expert of the communication, old communication system to new communication system. What are the risks? At the same time, what are the tensions? At the same, authentication process for the new media. So everything you have explained very perfectly. If possible, you can make your camera on and discuss with our speakers. Thank you. All participants are requested to unmute themselves and they can fill the also they can discuss with the speaker and fill the feedback link. All participants are requested to fill the feedback link. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Participants can unmute and can discuss with our speaker. All participants are requested to fill the feedback link which is available in the chat box. If you not fill the feedback link, you will not get your certificate. It's necessary to fill the feedback link. The new members, those who are joined here today, are requested to fill the feedback link. I am thankful to all the participants, those who are joined here, KNDA sir, N. Praveen sir, Dr. Harendra sir, Ugarsi, Preeti ma'am, Javid Singh ji, Surya sir, Nambita ma'am, Balasundari, uh, Shankar sir, Surya Prakash Vyas sir, and others, those who are joined here. They can unmute and they can discuss with our speaker. All participants are requested to fill the feedback link which is available in the chat box. All are requested to unmute and they can discuss with our speaker. You can ask or discuss with the speaker. Thank you, Manpreet ma'am, for your studious speech on today's topic, accepting our invitation and joining here as a speaker. The future of communication in the age of artificial intelligence, you have really made it useful and you have compared all the new old and new communication systems and authentication, all these things in today's speech. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, good evening. I have one question. If madam is there, means I will ask.
Yes, ma'am. Swarna, ma'am, you can ask.
Okay, madam is there. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, madam. I am Dr. K. Suvarna from
Good evening, ma'am.
America, Washington. I have one question, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Being a language teacher, HOD of Hindi department, now AI is available for all sectors in studies. Nowadays people are doing for PhD and all those things. While we are doing so much struggle we suffered for the collecting data and something typing and everything. Nowadays people are doing so many students and so many related language students are doing PhD, it is any possible to do through AI equipment? They are very easily PhD work.
Ma'am, I think the AI can only guide us. Like AI cannot
Okay.
take the place of humans. The human minds, they are something which is different. So AI act as a guidance that help us to guide, but not actually draft everything or write everything.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
AI will help for typing and all those things because we suffered a lot of because past 8 years, 9 years back, because of typing and alignment of the PhD thesis work, we have suffered a lot. Nowadays, it will be more easier through AI.
Yes, I would say to some extent that things for this generation has made easy, but yes, it will never replace the hard work or efforts that humans have made for that. So, like earlier in order to research, uh, we have to just read a lot of paper, but these days the AI would do that work and provide us the summary, all the things. So it has made these things easy to a certain extent by reducing the hard work that people need to delegate earlier.
Okay. It is
Uh,
easier past.
Sorry, ma'am.
When we are, that is little bit easier. Those who are done already PhD in the past, nowadays those who are doing, comparatively that one, it is a little bit easier for them.
Yes, that the AI has made the thing easier. Like I would say, it has provided a lot of things on platter to the peers, scholars, or to the researchers who are doing PhD these days.
Okay, okay,
But it would not definitely replace everything. It is just guiding. Like still, the research work, all because AI is again a machine. So sometimes the details provided by it may not be accurate. So a person need to check it to cross check whether the information provided by it is reliable or not. So that is something again that need to work on.
okay. Okay, madam. Thank you
Uh,
very much for your answer. We will encourage the students, those who are doing PhD in language department on all those things, go through the AI and take whatever availability is there for their help they can use for the PhD work. It is easier for more than the past. We will guide the students for the taking the help of AI in the future coming days. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, and giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much for asking the question. Sir, thank you.
Devir Singh ji, you can speak now.
जी सभी को नमस्ते। नमस्ते मैडम।
हाँ
मैडम
जी,
आपकी
नमस्ते।
परिस्थिति बहुत ही अच्छी है, जानकारी बहुत अच्छी साझा की आपने, उसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैडम
थैंक यू सो मच।
कि जो प्राचीन काल में हम जो लिखित या कोई भी चीज साहित्य रखते थे, उसका समय और आज का समय काफी बदला है। अभी टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई, AI आ गया है, तो क्या आज जो हम भाषा, एक भाषा की बात कर लेता हूँ उदाहरण के तौर पर, हम अपनी भाषा को कैसे सुरक्षित रख पाएंगे? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हो जाएगा कि हम सब तकनीकी के में स्टोर कर रहे हैं, वो एक समय ऐसा आएगा वो स्टोर ही सब डिलीट हो जाएगा। अभी एक घटना हुई थी शायद अमेरिका में कहाँ पर, जहाँ ये डाटा स्टोर किया जा रहा है, वहाँ के कॉलोनी लोगों ने उसका विरोध किया कि इससे हिट भी हो रही है और उसका प्रभाव भी पड़ रहा है कि आने वाले भविष्य में कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हो जाएगा जैसे नालंदा को जला दिया गया था, तो इसका हैंग करके ये पूरा खत्म तो नहीं हो जाएगा हमारा?
आई थिंक सर, थैंक यू फॉर द क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट। सर, मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं द AI इज डेफिनेटली अफेक्टिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट अगर हम AI की बात करेंगे तो फ्यूचर में इट वुड नॉट रिप्लेस ह्यूमन माइंड्स. It is definitely storing data and they are taking that data in order to improve their AI. So जो AI काम कर रहा है वो ह्यूमन डेटा पे ही काम कर रहा है. जैसे हम कमांड देते हैं वो उसी को स्टोर करके उसी पे आगे काम करता है. एंड आपने जो अभी यू आस्क्ड अबाउट द लैंग्वेज, इट वुड नॉट डेफिनेटली डाई इन द फ्यूचर. हाँ, श्योर, द ह्यूमंस दे आर मोर डिपेंडेंट ऑन AI, but still they can think about their brain. Still, in order to communicate, we will use our language. So to a certain extent the things are in danger, but अगर हम उस पे over rely करेंगे so it would somehow affect the human beings. So using it to an extent जहाँ तक beneficial है and that is not having any repercussions and not harming us, so वहाँ तक using AI would be beneficial. But if you are using more of that, then definitely it could have some repercussions. So उसका negative impact फिर होगा.
सही कहा मैडम ने। जैसे हमारे प्राचीन साहित्य शास्त्र हैं, उनका अस्तित्व आज भी बना हुआ है, हमारे बीच में है। वो फिजिकल उससे यानी हार्ड कॉपी के रूप में है, लेकिन अब सॉफ्ट कॉपी हमारे पास आ रही है। ये ठीक है, हमें दूर बैठे सब चीज़ मिल रही हैं, लेकिन वही बात है कि आने वाला व्यक्ति बताएगा कि हम किस ओर जा रहे हैं, कि कहीं सब चीज़ विलुप्त तो नहीं हो जाएगी। क्योंकि अभी पेपर का चलन बंद कर रहे हैं हम, और जब पेपर का चलन कर रहे हैं तो पुस्तकें कम छपेगी तो फिर साहित्य की कमी होगी। तो देखते हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम।
वेलकम सर। सर, आई हैव हर्ड अ थॉट कि जब तक ह्यूमंस AI को हैंडल कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक AI इज बेनिफिशियल, लेकिन वो टाइम आएगा जब AI ह्यूमंस को हैंडल करेगा, दैट वुड समथिंग व्हिच वुड बी हार्मफुल. सो जब तक ह्यूमंस आर हैंडलिंग AI, इट वुड नॉट हार्म अस टू दैट एक्सटेंट, द थिंग्स वुड बी सेफ. लेकिन जब AI हमें हैंडल करना स्टार्ट कर देगा तो दैट वुड समथिंग जो वुड डेफिनेटली इम्पैक्ट ह्यूमंस. थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर द क्वेश्चन अगेन.
धन्यवाद जयवीर सिंह जी, अच्छी चर्चा हुई और आप सभी को धन्यवाद। कल और मिलेंगे नए एपिसोड में या नए सेशन में। थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir.